Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 21st, 2025. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Yes, it is the weekend finally, and I'll tell you, it looks to be a great one weather-wise. I especially like it when I get a chance to meet someone that I did a remote podcast with. And tomorrow, I'm meeting Tamara Day from Bargain Mansions, and she's over at the Annapolis Homeowners Expo. Hey, did you know that the Western Lowland gorilla's scientific name is gorilla? So there you go. Hey, but now we have some news, so shall we? The Anne Arundel County Board of Education has unanimously approved a $1.82 billion operating budget, adding $8.8 million to the superintendent's initial recommendations. The budget does include funding for weapon detection systems at all high schools, an increase in school counselors and psychologists, and support for music and agricultural education programs. The proposal, which also features a 1% mid-year cost of living adjustment for teachers, now heads to County Executive Stuart Pittman before the final approval by the County Council in June. In the ongoing trial of Charles Robert Smith, who is accused of a triple murder back in June of 2023 in Annapolis, the Capitol is reporting that the testimony now has revealed that two witnesses initially misled detectives to protect a relative. The two relatives of Mario Mireles initially said that there was no second gun. However, now they say there was a second gun. The defense has argued that Smith acted in self-defense, but the two witnesses now claim that the shots were returned only after the three were shot. The Capitol really is doing a good job following this story. And an opinion piece by John Hammond argues that capping the property tax assessments in Annapolis, highlighting the financial strain on the homeowners due to rapidly increasing property values. His article calls for local leaders to implement limits on assessment increases and to prevent excessive tax burdens. Hey, let's look into what's happening the weekend, man. The events are starting to pick up, and there's a good number of them this weekend. Starting tonight from 5 to 7, the Annapolis Watercolor Club is hosting an artist reception at the Annapolis Maritime Museum. Also tonight at 7 p.m., the Brigade Boxing Championships over at Alumni Hall at the Naval Academy. This is free. You will need proper ID to get onto the yard. Tonight, 7:30, and tomorrow at 7 p.m., the Ballet Theater of Maryland is presenting Momentum over at Maryland Hall. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 5 p.m., it is the Homeowners Expo at the Byzantium Event Center on Riva Road. Offers resources for tons of home projects. There's going to be dozens of vendors there. You can go online and use the code EYE for 2 free tickets. And Tamara Day is only going to be there on Saturday, so if you want to meet her, that's the day to go. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Historic London Town and Gardens is going to be hosting What's That Tea? History of Tea in London Town with a lecture and a garden tour. And if you've never been down there, you really need to go check that out because it is such a beautiful sort of a hidden gem here in Anne Arundel County. Again, tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 11 to 4 p.m. over at Local by Design at the Gallery. They're holding their February market that features artisans and vendors, and those are a lot of fun. You can always find some great gifts that you need, and I hate to say it, but maybe you want to start shopping a little bit early for Christmas. Sunday, 11 to 4 p.m., the Naptown Vinyl and Vintage Market returns at Maryland Hall. It's down in the Bowen Theater, down on the lower level. You're going to find plenty of vinyl, plenty of collectibles, plenty of music, food trucks, and much more. That is a free event, again, Sunday, 11 to 4. And finally, starting on Saturday, it is the start of Annapolis Restaurant Week. Get out, support your local restaurants. That goes through March 2nd. You want to be sure to catch our local business spotlight this Saturday at noon. This week, we chat with Dawn and Chuck Jeffries, who have a wonderful story about how they came to be the owners of Robex at the Harbor Center. And today on Canines and Crosstreks, we meet a cute little black Frenchie named Jade who needs a forever home. And we do chat with Jasmine Fearon, who is a veterinary cardiologist, because it is Heart Health Month. You want to listen to our spot now and then check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon for some irresistible photos and get all of the information on how you can adopt her. Jade, not Jasmine. She's not up for adoption, I don't think. And again, don't forget that we do have our daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We send it out to your email inbox at 7 p.m. every night. Yes, 365 days a year, all without a paywall. It's perfect for keeping up with the weekend's news since we don't release a DNB on Saturday or Sunday. And here is a link right here in the show notes for you. All right, that's it. Now it is time just to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world. And if we do, please leave a review somewhere and tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and MacMedics. It is Friday, the weekend is here, and now it's time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, and keep shopping local. Now hang tight, we have your Eye on Annapolis local weather report, and then Canines and Crosstreks. All of that's coming your way in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Betsy Abraham. My mom and I own and operate Scout Molly's, this amazing little boutique at the Annapolis Town Center, and we're here to help. Whether you are shopping for the beautiful ladies on your holiday list or for yourself, we have something stunning for every occasion, from casual to black tie. From the Parade of Lights to New Year's Eve, we have the perfect outfit for every event this year. Scout Molly's, Annapolis Town Center. Thank you for shopping local.
Next up, we're diving into today's Eye on Annapolis weather forecast. From sunny skies over the bay to storm warnings that could impact your plans, we've got the details to keep you ahead of the curve. Stay tuned. It's all coming your way in just a moment.
Good morning, Anne Arundel County. Here is your weather forecast for the next 3 days. Today, you can expect a sunny and breezy day with highs near 36. Northwest winds will be at about 16 to 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 31 miles per hour. As night falls, skies will remain clear with temperatures dipping into a brisk 22 degrees. Winds will be calm, lightly blowing northwest at 6 to 8 miles an hour. Tomorrow, the sun shines with a high near 41 degrees. A light and variable breeze will make for a really nice day. Saturday night does bring partly cloudy skies and a low of around 29 with calm winds. And Sunday is another sunny day on tap with temperatures reaching a comfortable 48 degrees. Sunday night will be partly cloudy with lows around 30. Looking ahead, Monday does bring more sunny skies with a high near 50, but don't pack away those winter clothes just yet. There is a chance of rain on Thursday with highs in the mid-50s. Stay tuned for more updates as the week progresses. That's your local weather for the upcoming days. Remember, whether it's rain or shine, there is always a silver lining.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting MacMedics in Severna Park, where appointments are not necessary. MacMedics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. MacMedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. MacMedics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call MacMedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Anne Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Crosstreks. Sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
All right, well, welcome back to Canines and Crosstreks. As I look around the room, we're kind of short. We're also short a Crosstrek, too, because Billy is off this week. Yes. And I think he's probably celebrating the fact that the giant 17-inch snow that was predicted didn't
happen. Yes.
Because I know he always loves shoveling the snow off.
That's right.
The lot.
When I was over at Subaru over the weekend, I saw them moving some cars around. So I think they were getting prepared. But hey, it didn't happen so far.
Good thing. But this is February. I mean, we're sort of toward the end of February, and it is Heart Health Month. And I know we've been teasing about
Hearts and Hounds.
the Hearts and Hounds at the
It's happening.
Annapolis Mall.
It is going to happen.
Sure it's happening, but we're going to get into that. But our guest today has a little bit longer hair than Billy does. But we want to welcome Jasmine Fearon, who is a vet with SPCA, which is the cardiac care for pets over
On Bestgate.
Road.
Hi.
And this is Heart Health Month, so it's a perfect time to talk to you.
Yes, and I thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for coming.
Well, this somewhat blows my mind. I've owned pets all my life, and as I got into an adulthood, I realized that, do you brush your cat's teeth? My vet would say, and I'd be like, no. And it only makes sense that that the issues that humans have, that pets have too. And I just never, in a million years, 10 years ago, would have said, well, there's a cardiologist for dogs. But lo and behold, here we are.
Yes. The amount of times that I tell people I'm a vet and it's followed up by I'm in the specialty cardiology, they immediately switch to, you're a cardiologist for humans, but a vet. And I'm like, no, I'm a cardiologist for animals. And then everyone always says, they have cardiologists for animals. And I say, and that's it. And so that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today during Heart Health Month. It's super exciting.
I know how prevalent heart disease is in humans. I mean, how prevalent is heart disease and heart issues? I mean, I'm sure they've got the same types of issues in the heart murmurs and all of that kind of stuff too, don't they?
Absolutely. So I would say heart disease in our small animals, we mostly see dogs and cats, are pretty prevalent. We have some pretty common heart diseases in our older small breed dogs, which would be valve disease. Humans, of course, also get that. And I would say a good portion of our small breed dogs that get around the age 10 or older, sometimes they're younger, they do have some valve insufficiency, meaning their valves start to leak, and we can see changes with their heart structure from that. And then there's some big dog breed diseases that we see more commonly, like dilated cardiomyopathy. And then cats, of course, they get HCM, also known as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So their heart just gets thick, and that impairs their ability to pump.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad you said those big words because
they sound like big, complicated words, but once you kind of get a nice explanation, which we love to explain to owners and clients about what's going on with their pet, it does make sense why we're starting these medications or continuing to examine these dogs for their heart disease or cat.
How does heart disease get diagnosed? I mean, I'm presuming that it's you go to your primary care physician and they just hear something weird and they say, okay, we're going to refer you to a cardiologist.
Absolutely.
Same thing?
Yeah. So your primary care physician is definitely going to be your frontline soldiers, as we like to say. So they're the ones who are hearing abnormalities. Do you have an abnormal heart rhythm? Instead of it just going lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, like we all know, it could be doing any variation of that. So they would hear that on exam and say, oh, I don't know if this is something that I know how to handle. Go to a cardiologist. And then the other most common thing that people hear are heart murmurs, which is a sound of turbulent blood flow or a leak in a valve, something like that. So abnormal heart sounds, and they'll say, we can take chest x-rays. They can do that there and get a gauge on, is the heart big? Do we think things are very abnormal to the point that you need specialty care? That's where I would come in.
What can a pet owner do to make sure that their pets' hearts are as healthy as they possibly can? I mean, I know certainly here at the SPCA of Arundel County, I mean, we adopt, so we may or may not know the health history of an animal. I mean, are there signs that we look for? I mean, certainly I would have to think, as my doctor says, diet and exercise.
Yeah. I think the most important thing would be routine vet care, because like I mentioned, your primary care vet would be able to hear a murmur, which is going to be the most common and obvious sign of heart disease. Now, I do want to say there are murmurs out there that are benign and are not related to heart disease, and there's no way to know until we do further diagnostics, either chest x-rays or they come to us. But that would be the first sign. If the murmur's coming and going away, then maybe there's more of a chance that that's a normal murmur from excitement. Their heart rate's up and things are swishing around a little bit more, versus a lot of vets do know when something sounds very abnormal and they need to see a cardiologist. So I'd say that's the first thing. Of course, diet, exercise, as long as they're eating and living a normal doggy or kitty life, then they're likely doing fine. Some of the signs you can see with heart disease, coughing is a big one, but there are many other reasons that pets can cough. So we do get a lot of, cats with asthma that cough that come to us and they don't have heart disease. So again, your primary vet is really good at saying, oh, okay, I hear a murmur, your dog's coughing, these things are all happening. I can fit this with heart disease. Changes in breathing. So if they're ever breathing really hard or not being able to breathe comfortably when laying down or resting, things like that, collapse, fainting, those would be the big ones. I did see a chimpanzee at the zoo for their heart issues, and I had to do the echocardiogram, which is the ultrasound of the heart, on the chimpanzee, which is more like doing a human echo because you're just doing it on their chest like a human. So with dogs, we lay them down. Cats, same thing. So it's not the same exact process, but with the chimp, it was like doing a human echo.
Can you walk us a little bit? Like, I take my dogs and cats to CVCA. So,
Awesome.
so I kind of know what to expect when I get there. But can you walk us through a typical appointment for what owners would expect if they did have an appointment with CVCA?
Of course. So something very unique about CVCA that I love is that the clients, the owners of the pets, are able to come in the room and see everything that we're doing. And the main diagnostic that we do as cardiologists is called the echocardiogram. As I mentioned, that's the ultrasound of the heart. And you're able to be there the entire time. We also have some TV, so it's kind of amplified and we can point out what we're seeing. But of course, we first start with what's been going on, kind of talking about, does this sound like the heart and will these diagnostics be helpful? And kind of give the owner the option of, okay, these are my thoughts. Do you want to continue? And most are like, we're here now. Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's get the answers. And so they get to watch. We lay the dog or cat down, which is what we usually see. And a lot of people do ask, do they need to be sedated? Do they need to be shaved? A lot of them do really well with just some light restraint and having mom or dad there to comfort them and let them know they're being a good boy or good girl. And they just lay there. We put some gel on the probe. It's just like seeing an ultrasound for a human. A lot of people relate it to when they were pregnant. And they're like, oh, this reminds me of when I was getting my ultrasound for my baby. It looks just like that. It's just the heart. And so we put the probe on there and we show you guys how the heart looks and what abnormalities we're seeing. We flip them on their other side if they allow us to, so we can get different views of the heart.
Okay.
And then at the very end, we have a nice whiteboard where we kind of draw out exactly what we're seeing, talk about the heart disease and if it needs any medications and when to recheck.
You look at technology just in general.
It's changed. And it's so great, especially for the animal world and how many wonderful things are out there to keep them happy and healthy.
Well, I was just reading, Kelly, today, too, that there's a microchip company that, and everybody should have their dogs and cats chipped so we can find them and get them back to you.
That's right.
But went out of business abruptly. Wow. And what was it called? So like Save This Life microchip, which I don't know how big they are, but, you may want to get your pet checked and find out where it is, where you registered that animal. And you can re-register with somebody else, can't you?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're here if anybody needs a microchip.
So that you will do the microchipping
Yes, we do microchipping here.
Can you read microchips as well?
Yes, absolutely we can.
And those microchips, again, there's a technology thing, but those are just real. Those are like a grain of rice, right? Type thing.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Just go right into the scruff of the neck. And
that's correct, yeah. And it helps them find their way home, that's for sure. We highly, highly recommend it.
Could a microchip help them find their way to the mall?
You mean on Sunday?
Yeah. That's not because we mentioned this. We said that Hearts and Hounds is back, and it is happening for real.
It is going to happen on Sunday. It's going to be 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Just encourage everybody to get up. It's been cold. Get out and bring your dogs to the mall and walk the mall. Get a nice, healthy walk in, and celebrate Heart Health Month.
You get a walk in for you, and you get a walk in for your dog.
That is correct. And we're also going to have Dare to Care vascular screening is going to be there. They're going to try to screen as many people as they can. Last year was super busy.
8:30 to 10:30
That's correct.
At the mall. And they do ask that you come in by the Maggiano's main entrance.
That's the entrance to come through, and then you can pass through. We'll have paws at the mall. We'll have some stuff pulled out. So if you have a dog and the dogs don't like cats or the cats don't like dogs, then you kind of shop outside of paws at the mall. We're going to have Puppylicious there because we're also going to be celebrating National Dog Biscuit Day, which happens to fall on the 23rd.
Every day is National Dog Biscuit Day.
It is, but it definitely is for my dogs. And so it'll be cool. So every dog gets a free biscuit from Puppylicious, and they have fabulous, fabulous treats for dogs.
I know when yours passed too. There's been just tons of dogs.
It's fun.
They get along.
Fun morning.
Strangely enough, humans get some exercise, dogs get some exercise. Yeah. And then, of course, as you've been to any SPCA event, you will have plenty of other pet friendly or pet vendors, pet related
Yes,
vendors.
there's going to be some other people there, which is going to be great. We're also going to do some pup cups. So, the whipped cream in the,
There you
in the
go.
cup. Not a big one.
But that is this Sunday at 8:30 to 10:30. And bring your leashed, well-behaved pups. Leashes are mandatory. If you don't have a pup, come out there and check it out because there's going to be plenty to pet and there's plenty of stuff to see at Paws at the Mall as well. Okay, so somebody just dumped this little black Frenchie in here. Who's this?
Yes. Well, this little Frenchie is Jade. And Jade is new to us. She's only been here for about a week and a half.
Oh.
And she's 4 years old. And as you can see, she has been a mama way too many times. But she's going to get spayed with us. And she does have a little bit of a skin issue that we are clearing up. She's getting 2 baths a week, just some dry skin. And the baths have been helping a great deal. And as you can see, she is so incredibly friendly.
She really is.
Yeah, we have a staff member that has taken her home a couple days, and she said just at home, she is just a delight. She's wonderful in the car. She's just a happy little girl, very easy to deal with. She is recovering from a UTI right now, so we're not totally sure about how housebroken she is.
Okay.
As you can see, she's very happy, very friendly, and she... the staff member also has other dogs at home, and Jade's been wonderful with them. She's not curious and bugging them. She just accepts them and it's perfectly fine. There's 3 other dogs in the house and she's doing great.
Well, Jade definitely needs to find a good home as well. And I know that, we've got Jasmine, we have a tremendous record of animals that are featured on this that get adopted pretty quickly. I do need to go downstairs and check on the 2 kittens. Jade is, real friendly, comes up, just gets
she came
up,
in and
she's
just blended in.
She seems to be in pretty good health. She's not real chonky and
no, she's got a cute little body on her.
Yeah, she's so cute and sweet.
And you said how old was she?
4 years old.
4. Okay, so she's out of her puppy stage and she seems to be very well behaved as far as on the leash and stuff like that as well.
She really is. And she has a little bit of an eye issue, but we did get it checked out and she just squints the one eye. She doesn't have any medical issue going on with it.
Well, I want to thank you for what you do to save how many pets and to make sure you keep them as healthy and long as they possibly can.
Thank you.
And certainly to the SPCA, I want to thank for Hearts and Hounds this Sunday at the mall. And in absentia, we want to thank Billy and Annapolis Subaru for sponsoring this. I know that they're probably still tallying up their, the share of the love that they have.
Right. What a successful event.
And we're glad it didn't snow for them. So.
That's right. So you don't have to go clean the cars.
That's this. And
you made that offer.
I will totally do that. I will totally do that. But if you want to check out cvca.com, and Jasmine Fearon is right there on the website as well. And pets are such an integral part of our lives. Okay. They're,
family members.
They're family.
Exactly.
They are. They're just part of our family. We've got to make sure that we got to keep them healthy as long as they can. Because unfortunately, we don't have them with our families as long as we have our human counterparts. So
true. And they have all the same issues that we do.
And we want to make sure that they're healthy as long as they possibly can. And, Jasmine Fearon is doing her best to do that. And, I know Kelly and the SPCA, you do such a good job of making sure that they're going to the homes that are going to be able to care for the animals. So, that's, where it is. You do have medical facilities and capabilities and everything
low
else.
cost.
You want to make sure that somebody's not going to take a dog or a cat or a rat or a pig or whatever it may be and ignore it.
Right. And that's why we do the best we can to make sure that we know the most about their health before they leave here. So that way the adopters know, in case there is a medical issue or an underlying issue that's going to continue to need attention or medication that may be costly, they know that before adopting. That way it's not a surprise to them.
As we wrap it up, AnnapolisSubaru.com is where you want to go if you're in the mood for a Subaru, which everybody should be. You want to go to aacspca.org if you are looking to adopt, if you are looking to volunteer, if you're looking to foster. There's plenty of opportunities here at the SPCA, the least of which is our cute little Frenchie that's here that's just looking for just a wonderful home. She's so friendly.
She's so sweet.
So friendly.
And finally, you want to go to cvca.com, cardiac care for pets, and I will have pretty much all the information that you need for that. And if you do suspect us, as Dr. Fearon has said, that your animal may have some kind of a heart condition, whether it be coughing or certainly fainting or
has a murmur,
the breathing and everything else, get it checked out.
Yeah. And I would just like to say CVCA has a lot of offices, especially in the DMV area, and they've even expanded down to North Carolina. So there's likely an office near you if you don't live near Annapolis. There's a bunch of offices in the Maryland, Virginia areas as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in, and let's get a home
For Jade,
for our Frenchy friend here. And we will see you guys, I guess, next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.